Wilder Show podcast. Yep, I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right over there.
Hello.
Hi. Instagram, you'll find us. If you search for us, you will find us. Just search Wilder Show Pod on Instagram, and you'll find us. You'll like us, follow us, and all that stuff. If you want to send us an email, just email it to podcast@wildershow.com. Podcast@wildershow.com. Podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And we will thank you for that. The Democrats have left the building. The Democrats have left the State House.
So tell me exactly what's happening.
Well, it's called redistricting. And redistricting, you ever looked at the districts, the voting districts? Mm-hmm. Like district, precinct this and district that?
Sure.
And they're kind of funky, the way they're laid out. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes population is sort of funky.
Right. I
mean, in my mind, everything should be, an equal 30 mile by 30 mile square, but that's not the way it works. Mm-hmm. And so the legislature of any state or of each state can redraw those districts based on population, based on voting patterns. Mm-hmm. The one thing they can't do is do it in a way that discriminates against a group of people based on race.
That makes sense.
So you can't say, well, we'll give every voting area, we'll get exactly 20% of a minority.
Mm-hmm. You said you can't say
you can't.
Okay.
Do that. You can't. For example, you can't do that because that would say, essentially, we're going to put you in. It's an impossibility for if people of all one ethnicity were to vote one way, you would never win.
Right.
It'd be like being a conservative person going to a liberal Baptist church, and you're one of 9 people on a committee, but there are only 2 that share your view.
You'll never win.
Mm-hmm. And just because you get to be on the committee really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you can share your thoughts, but it's not ever going to mean anything.
We'll endure you, but then we're going to vote to go the other way. Mm-hmm. And so that is sort of what it's like. That's what it's like in the districts. You can't just say, okay, we're going to give just a very small little pittance, for lack of a better word, tokenism, give you a chance to vote, but it doesn't really matter. So you can redraw. And so if Democrats are running the state, they can redraw the districts. Now, there's a thing called gerrymandering, which I always thought, because if you look at those districts that are drawn, it's almost like meandering. Jerry meandering. Here 5 feet, take a left, go 40 miles this way, go up like 1 foot, come back 25 miles, and then go. I mean, it's the hottest looking thing, those districts. But the bottom line is, Democrats do not control the Texas legislature, and they don't like having to vote for this because they're going to lose. And so they have left the state.
Wow.
And Governor Abbott said, you don't come back, you run the risk of losing your seat in the House. You can lose your job.
And he can really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that there have to be rules set for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. So they're trying to avoid a quorum. I mean, if every one of them happened to be, all their grandmothers died the same day, and they were all flying to the other states to bury their grandmothers.
That's different.
Yeah. But that's not what this is.
Right.
This is a planned. It's a boycott, is what it is, and you can't do that. And so Governor Abbott, I don't think Governor Abbott is going to be shy about this. I mean, I think he and others who agree with him or agree with the president, I think they're kind of emboldened by watching the president and going, well, I guess you really can do stuff. I guess you really can enforce the rules. Huh. Who knew? Who knew the rules were really there to be enforced all this time? We thought they were just suggestions. But no, in fact, you can say, hey, you know what? We don't care if you come back or don't come back. It's okay. We're not gonna go hunt you down.
We'll figure it out.
It's okay. It's good. But we are going to remove you from your job And guess what? When those numbers, I would guess, I don't know this, when those numbers come down, because you know what a quorum is a certain percentage of those who could be there. Mm-hmm. But if you take that number down, if those people who have left, those slots are now not there, mm-hmm. you have taken down the number needed for a quorum.
Sure.
Democrats tried this several years ago, and it failed. It was the very same thing. They were going to all run out and do something else. I think Rick Perry was, I would say president of Texas. We're not we're no longer a country. Is that right?
That is correct.
I'm going to say it a different way. We're not yet a country again, right?
We are not.
But Governor Perry, I think it was Governor Perry, he same kind of thing. You come back or we're going to kick you out of your spot. And so we'll see if that happens. I mean, it wouldn't bother me if it happens. It's just, as Governor Abbott said, it's very un-Texan to run from the fight. Mm-hmm. Even if you're going to lose, you don't run from the fight. You stand and you make your case and you fight. That's what Democrats should do. But the big thing is they're being puppeteered by people like Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries and the people at the national scale, because Governor Holcomb in New York, mm-hmm. the truth is adding 5 seats to the House of Representatives, 5 seats to the U.S. House of Representatives from the state of Texas. When that happens, Democrats are going to say, we got to make that up somewhere.
Right.
So New York is saying, well, we're going to do it too. But New York is already like 88% of their representatives are already Democrat. Mm-hmm. I mean, Illinois is threatening to do it. 78% of theirs are already Democrat. California, like 89% of theirs are already Democrat. So they're going to ramp it up. How do you ramp it up from that? I mean, Texas numbers, even if those things occur, Texas numbers would not be anywhere near those other states mm-hmm. in terms of being concentrated toward conservative versus Republican versus Democrat. So I don't know how you ramp it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and say, now I'm going to scream 20% louder. It's like, wait a minute. I thought you already were if you already are about as saturated as you could be in having Democrats representing your state in the House of Representatives, how can you get more?
Right.
Maybe you can, but maybe you can't. So that's what's going on. The Texas redistricting or the gerrymandering. I don't think it's gerrymandering, but it is certainly redistricting that is going on right now in the great state of Texas.
The Sydney Sweeny madness continues.
I think it's great.
It is kind of funny.
I do like it. I really do.
It's kind of funny it's a fun position, I think, to be in, to not really care either way.
True.
Or to think, on one end, you guys can't be serious mm-hmm. that's what you think this is. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, think, I don't really care that much about American Eagle or Sydney Sweeny either.
I know.
It's not like I'm really cheering, cheering either side on. But one side certainly does look kind of ridiculous, don't they?
Let's review real quick. We talked about it in the last, everybody has to know.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the last podcast episode. And Sydney Sweeny, movie star or whatever.
Movie star, television star, she's in a ton of stuff.
There's a ton of commercials. Young, attractive, white, blue eyes, whatever. And it's a jeans commercial for American Eagle. Mm-hmm. And the slug line is Sydney Sweeny has great jeans.
Right.
And it's spelled
Jeans. Yeah.
And it says that as it shows not her face and her eyes, as shows her jeans.
Right.
She has great jeans.
In one of the commercials, there's just the briefest voiceover of her, not well delivered.
Oh, no, I don't know.
And she says, jeans can determine, your eye color and sometimes hair personality color, and hair color and blah, 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 blah. And
right.
My jeans are blue. Yeah.
Yeah, her jeans are blue. Mm-hmm. Her jeans.
The jeans that the camera was panning over during the whole time that you heard the voiceover. Right. The blue jeans she's wearing
or what color?
Denim
They're blue.
They're blue.
Got it.
Yeah.
But immediately, okay, it's sexist. She's got a pretty girl.
Yeah.
It is about eugenics. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden it's Hitler-esque.
Yeah.
And then it's also, white privilege and racist.
Right.
She didn't say my jeans are white.
No.
Even though the people who are responding to it are saying my jeans are black.
Right.
Or my jeans are, I even saw this may be offensive. I was sort of like, really? You could still say that? My jeans are yellow.
Wow.
And it was an Asian American woman, really pretty.
Yeah.
And she was actually wearing, and it wasn't making fun of her, as I've seen some of those sort of spoofy things. It was her just saying, my jeans are yellow.
Yeah.
And she was wearing yellow jeans. But Sydney Sweeny never says, my jeans are white.
No.
So if you had an Indian, a Native American, my jeans are red.
No.
My jeans, no, that's not, that only is responsive. I mean, were I in the court of law, I would say, objection, Your Honor, non-responsive. I mean, it's not responsive.
Right.
We didn't say my jeans, or they didn't say my jeans are white.
Yeah. It's not a new thing to have a Hollywood actress sell your product. Pay her a lot of money to sell your product. There's a reason she got this gig.
Yeah.
People have been paying attention to her. She's already been the face of several really popular ad campaigns.
True.
The only difference here is the copy.
Yeah.
And so it shouldn't be a surprise that we're seeing her. I do think, and I could, somebody could tell me I'm way off on this. It does seem to me, in the little bit of shopping that I've done, I have a young daughter. I mean, my young daughter is almost 30 already. She's about to be 28. But as she was growing up and we were shopping for clothes and going to places like American Eagle, I noticed a big shift in the way the clothes were displayed and the models that they used to do that. And it did seem to me to be getting more and more and more inclusive of different body shapes and sizes and colors and all. And I mean, I thought that was a really good thing, but you can't put everybody in an ad. You can't have them all in one ad. Sometimes it's going to be the young, attractive Hollywood girl that's getting the most attention at the time.
And I'll tell you something else. Sometimes, first of all, the company does not have an the company has a directive, and it is to return financing and funding and profits to its investors. That is the job of the company.
Right.
And how do they do that? They sell, in this case, they sell jeans.
They sell a lot of blue jeans.
So they sell blue jeans, and what are the other products and accessories that people who wear blue jeans like that would need and have? So they sell jeans. They sell jeans to make money. The money goes back to the investors and the people that own stock in the company. That is the purpose of the company. The purpose of the company is not to make everybody feel included. That is not the purpose of the company. That could be the purpose of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Whoops, I guess that's not applicable anymore. But that could be, somebody else has that job. But that is not the job of a jeans. That's not the job of Levi's. It's not the job of Subaru for cars. It's not the job of any. They have a separate job. Their job is not to do these other things. So they found someone that they thought could best sell jeans. Now, exposure is a big part of all this. And somebody might be wondering, well, is it really true that, but what if it's, what if it's sort of bad or, salacious sort of exposure? Let me ask one of the Kardashians.
Well, that's another thing. We've talked about this too. Sydney Sweeny, this is not the first time she's gotten attention, and she's gotten attention for, wearing far less clothing than we see on her, in this ad. So she's used to attention. The other thing, though, what did we find out about Sydney Sweeny? Just yesterday.
That's the second
that is going to add a whole new layer to this.
I love it so much. It was the second thing that I was going to say about that. Number one is their job is to sell jeans and to get attention. If you could have like just one person in the world, text your name of your product. Now, maybe it's Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift, she has a lot of followers. But can you imagine? We found out that Sydney Sweeny is a registered, hold on to your hats, kids, a registered Republican.
Right.
Before the 2024 election. Now, she's been smart and kept her mouth shut. I think that she should keep doing that. Just let it all happen. Let it all play out. But once President Trump found out about that, he tweets and puts it on his own social media, puts it on X or whatever. It's everywhere how he loves. And the jeans are selling like hotcakes. They jumping
can't keep them on
They
shelves.
can't keep them. It's the likes of which no one has ever seen before.
All the glorious hyperbole
Oh,
that you would
gosh.
expect.
But so here's what has happened. American Eagle is selling a load of jeans and products. And did you see even their response to all this?
No.
So President Trump, when he was told Sydney Sweeny is a registered Republican, he said, I now I love her ad. If she is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. And then he tweeted after that and said all manner of glowing things that I'd mentioned before.
It's pretty funny.
But the company did have a response.
They did. They responded on Friday. And first of all, let me just say, every time you hear me say the word jeans, it's always Jeans.
Yeah.
Okay? So American Eagle said on Friday, Sydney Sweeny has great genes, is and always was about the jeans. Her jeans, her story. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone.
And now, it probably was a part of the plan all along. Yeah, if something goes crazy and goes viral, then we appear to respond to that. And we'll have the next group in, the next represent. The difference is, here's the difference, though. In the future, as they, quote, correct this thing that doesn't need to be correcting, they're going to be talking about it from a different perspective that has nothing to do with the perspective this was doing.
Yeah.
It will try and correct a problem that was never a problem.
Right.
For example, saying, my jeans are black, my jeans are yellow, my jeans are red. That doesn't even address non-responsive, Your Honor. I mean, that doesn't even address what the deal was. It honestly, I hate to say it this way, but this is the way I think of it. It makes you look dumb. It really does.
Yeah.
It makes you look dumb when you get all outraged about this and you don't even understand. It wasn't ever intended to be anything else, and never talked about race. So when you respond to it in a racial way, all it does is make you look sort of dumb.
I mean, I think a lot of it is that hypersensitivity that we have to all. Everybody is like a frayed nerve, just waiting to be tapped ever so gently. And part of it may be just everybody being on such high alert, waiting to be offended. And it also might be just that great need that we all of a sudden have for attention.
To be the center of the universe.
Yeah, everybody weigh in on it. If I can weigh in on it, this is a really big deal and it's getting a lot of attention. If I can weigh in on it and get a tiny bit of that attention, it'll make me special too.
Or walking around with these like desperate sunburns. Ow, don't touch me. Ow.
Hey, do you remember when we talked about what's happening when Texas public schools open next week?
Yeah.
The difference in the phone, the cell phone policy
Inside schools.
I misspoke. I think I said that school would be starting for most Texas public school kids. You know what? I shouldn't even say Texas because we're only talking about Dallas-Fort Worth. I don't know about the rest of the state.
Sure,
it
I
might
got
be
you.
similar. I think that I said that they'd be starting on Monday, the 11th of August, and that's not true. For the most part, it's Tuesday,
Okay.
August 12th. You have one more day than I was thinking you might have. There are a handful that start on Wednesday, the 13th, too.
Okay.
But for the most part,
Okay.
Summer vacation over when school starts
Yeah.
on August 12th.
Noted. Just one quick thing before I have a couple of things. I always liked that. I always liked when, school did not start on a Monday.
Oh, yeah?
I liked that first week to be something shy of 5 full days. Because honestly, when you first get back, it feels sort of wasted anyway. It always felt like if we went on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
or a Thursday, Friday, it kind of gear up for then the next week.
Like nothing really important gets
Well,
done on
I
those
mean,
first few days,
well, I mean,
or you're just kind of getting your sea legs. Or...
Well, part of it is you have scheduling things that have to be changed. And if you have a first full week that's supposed to be a first full week, sometimes it's hard to get all the things changed
Yeah.
that need to be changed. Anyway, that for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of news things, because I don't have full stories. Maybe it go to scattershoot, but LeBron, it looks like he's going to invest in a rival NBA league.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
$5 billion. He's worth about $1.4 billion. $5 billion. He and partners are looking at coming up with a rival league. And one other thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know who that is?
I do.
Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene has threatened to leave the Republican Party. Now, I just want to say one thing. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene understands the concept of a threat. Oh, it's time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
The Wilder Show Scattershoot. This is the, I don't know, what is it like? We've used all the things, all the analogies.
It's
the
the fun
scatter
stuff.
sheet. It's the fun stuff.
It's the fun stuff.
It's the fun stuff. It's the purple section in USA Today. It's the old Today section, the Dallas Morning News.
It's dessert.
It's dessert. Mm-hmm. It's many things.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It's the stuff you really want to know about.
Aw. Okay. Dang.
That's no slight. Listen,
Lord,
there's the stuff you have to know about to be a well-informed individual, to be a good citizen. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who really want to know about that stuff. I really want to know about that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, some people say, I don't really have a math brain. I have a language brain. I don't really have a news brain.
Yeah.
I have an entertainment brain.
Well, no, nobody has a news brain until they discover they really needed to know that information.
Yeah.
And that their life, was important. It was important to have that information.
Well, I still...
And then it's like, then it becomes
I still passed
interesting.
almost every math class I ever took.
Good for you.
Even though I didn't have a math brain. I still figured it out. There are just some things that come more naturally
Well, yeah, of course.
to you, right?
Yep, of course.
This is that.
Yeah. It reminds me that we were on the air. I was on the air in Seattle, and there was a girl that was off the air for the time, and so filling in for her. But she,
I remember this.
but she had cut, some intros. I think a lot of times, I don't know if you notice, people on the radio they're pretty self-aware. Pretty good sized egos. Nobody wants to feel like they're going to get their slot taken away, and all this kind of stuff. But it was there for work. It was only for work. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't want to live there. I didn't want to work there. Nothing. Just was doing work. And so I'm filling in for this. I think we were both filling in, weren't we? For her. And so she is, she's out of town, and she has cut these lines. So if it would be like me and Lauren, if we had somebody else filling in the podcast, it'd be something like, I'm Scott and I'm Lauren, and we're out doing the Lord's work somewhere, blah, blah, blah. But filling in today is so-and-so. And so we're so excited to have
Give them
so-and-so.
a warm welcome.
Give them a warm, big, great state of Texas welcome to, Joe Schmo, who's filling in for us for the day. And we'll see you again next time on the Wilder Show podcast. Joe, take it away, right? That's the kind of thing. That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
Here's what she said. Now, if I'm lying, I'm dying, because it was this in form or substance. And I won't say her name, but she said, hi, this is so-and-so from the so-and-so show. And I want you to know that I'm not there today. Many times we have very interesting guests that are in and sometimes even fill in for me, some very interesting people. But today, Scott Wilder is going to be. It's like, wait, what? That's not. That's sort of the way I felt when you were saying it's the good stuff. It's the fun stuff. It's like, it's the stuff you really want to know. It's like, now that he's through, it's like, Dad just left the house. Party.
Maybe it is a little bit like that.
Yeah,
You and I have
okay.
talked recently about Leanne Morgan, the comedian Leanne Morgan,
Yes.
and she has a thing where she talks about her husband who has taken very good care of their family, supported their family for years, and she said, he has. They're very different though. She said, he has a math brain, and I'm fun.
There you go. Anyway, so we're glad to be here. That is a very long way to introduce the Wilder Show Scatter Sheet.
We have nothing but time. And I thought of you over the weekend. I heard somebody that we both know and love talking about that. The question was asked of Conan O'Brien. Are you going to do you think you'll write a memoir? Do you have a book in you? And he said, yeah, I think I do have a book in me. The problem is the title. I just don't think I could ever, I could write the whole book, but I don't think I could come up with the title. And I thought of you because you have nothing but titles.
That's right.
You have so many titles.
I need to send a note to Conan O'Brien.
I think we should do that.
I think it's 50-50, right?
At least.
Yeah, he comes up with the book and I come up with the title.
Yeah.
And that's an excellent point, Lauren.
I'm here for you.
Let me ask you, we were talking earlier about school. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about school and going back to school after the summer.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a student. You're a student.
Yeah.
When you were a student, let's say in junior high or high school, here's my question. Did you dread going back to school in the fall?
Yes.
You did.
Every year.
Really? Because I have a different answer, but tell me why. Why did you?
I think it was mostly, back then we didn't really talk about anxiety very much, but I was nervous. I mean, I had performance anxiety about making good grades and about mostly that, but also social things,
Really?
just knowing that you
It's
were
hard to
going
believe, really.
that you were going to that you'd make friends, and that the friends that you had last year were still going to be the same
people or whatever.
people that you wanted or needed them to be this year. And then plus I was a homebody. I really, my mom was so blessed, and we were blessed to have her home with us for all the years that I was growing up.
So
and
summertime was ensconced
summertime was, fun stuff with mom. And I mean, fun stuff might be going to the mall, where we spent no money at all, but it was time that we spent with her. It was time that we spent at home. And I liked that. That's where I was comfortable. That's where I was secure. Once I got there, I was fine.
Yeah. My answer is almost exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, except that I loved being with my family in the summertime. We loved swimming. Boys, we go crawdad fishing. We get on our bikes and go for days and just play baseball in the street and all kinds of stuff like that. And that was all fun. But I didn't have any friends. Sort of like later in life, I had no friends as a kid anyway, so I didn't care. So the same people, okay, well, they don't like me anyway. No, I always felt like I was excited to go back to school.
Yeah.
I always felt like that's where there is, I don't mean order. My dad was a school principal, so we had plenty of order, plenty of law and order at the house. But and it's not like didn't want to be at the house. But like, okay, it's time to do this other thing. It's almost like I enjoyed both of them completely.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like summertime. It's like fantastic. I'm so glad it's summer. And then it's back to school. Oh, this is great. I'm going to go back. It's going to get cooler. The weather is going to be better. Got the state fair around the corner. You got football. And so going back to school for me was the feeling of, hey, Dallas Cowboys football and baseball playoffs and all these things are happening at the same time. So all those things are sort of stuck to that time of year.
Yeah.
And so for me, it didn't feel, I just felt like I could enjoy both of them equally.
That's great.
Completely enjoy one and then completely enjoy the other. But I didn't, and it wasn't that I had no, anxiety about stuff. I was, as a kid, I was a little tiny kid. I was a skinny kid.
Yeah.
I mean, looked like had really blonde hair. I mean, like white hair, almost like it is now, except now it's like the other end of life white. But I sort of looked like, I was really skinny. I sort of looked like a Q-tip, just.
When the pictures I've seen of you when you were really little and your hair was really white, maybe there's a little bit of a resemblance to a Q-tip.
It's like a Q-tip. Anyway, So but I never had the anxiety of I liked school. I liked, in those days, I liked most people. And so anyway, so that's my first question. Now, here's my second question. As a parent, did you dread when summer was over and the kids were going back to school?
Yes, every bit as much as I dreaded it for myself.
We're exactly the opposite.
I think part of it was the awareness that those summers with them at home were that there that there was a definite end to those to those times. And I remember like when my oldest it was maybe like the summer after sixth grade was different than the summer after seventh grade. That summer after sixth grade, he was still part of our little unit, and whatever we were doing, he was doing. They were all here, and it was much more relaxed. Them going back to school meant a more difficult schedule. All the activities picked up again. All the lunches had to be packed. All the laundry had to be, done in a certain. Everything was just so much more relaxed in the summer, and that was secondary just to having them around. I just loved having them around.
I kind of the same thing. I enjoyed when it was summertime, and enjoyed when it was going back to school. It was just this is all part of just the way things are. Don't fight it. It's a roller coaster. Lean into the turns, and you won't get jostled as much. I'm not telling you that. I'm saying
they actually did all show up on time on the first day of school every year. Never fought it. Just was never. I never looked forward to it. Yeah.
I didn't even mean that. I just meant the general, the passing of time. See, I've been cursed my whole life with knowing the passing of time, like from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like a new building is built, and I think someday that building is going to crumble because not in a doomsday way, but all things decay over time. I mean, once you start, it's sort of once you start, it's sort of the beginning of the end.
It is.
I mean, but it is with that. Build a house, you get a puppy, you have whatever. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's almost like now. Part of it is if I don't mean mourn it, but if I sort of understand it early on, I can then I kind of release myself to enjoy it whenever we have it, because you don't have this idea of, well, that's really not fair. That lawnmower didn't last as long as it should have.
Right.
Or that dog shouldn't have run away. So no. Everything is going to, so just really enjoy it right now. And the right now may last for 100 years, or it might not. But in either case, you don't want to say, I was putting off the enjoying of it for some future day. If you have children or grandchildren younger than 12, but this is intended for parents with children younger than 12.
Okay.
By the time your child turns 12, you have already spent about 75% of the total time you will ever share together.
Wow.
Is that the most insane thing? Because once they get to be 13, I mean, everything changes.
Yeah, for
Activities
sure.
change, friends change, your life changes. So, boy, really, really enjoy that time. I've always said the magic years are 3 to 7.
Yeah.
3 to 7 are perfect before they devolve, after they spend time with other kids. They spend most of the time with adults. They're sort of seem to be mature. Then they go.
Then you send them to school.
Spend time with those others, and they sort of devolve a little bit. That's okay. But those first 12 years, really important.
That's wild.
And then those next 4 years, that really, it's everything before 16, as we talked about before. But I thought that was a remarkable statistic that by the time your kid turns 12, you as a parent have already spent 75% of the time you will ever spend with them.
That is crazy and really overwhelmingly sad.
It is. But when you know it, it's like, okay, that's okay. And I think all of it should be, I mean, this probably sounds just tremendously optimistic, but you know what an optimist I am.
I do know that about you.
I think it all should lead us to just enjoy now.
Yeah.
Enjoy every now and be where you are. Wherever you are, be there.
That's easier to do.
Don't be somewhere else.
It's easier to
where
do
you are.
At our age, I think, than it is.
I know.
Even if I'd known that when my kid, if I'd known that terrible fact that you just shared with me when my kids were, younger than 12, there's something about It might be easier for us to do that, to live in the now at our age, than it might have been even for us to do that when we were younger. There's something about that anticipatory thing that you have when you're a younger person that makes you believe, during times of trial especially, but you're always kind of thinking about, well, it's going to get better than this, and that next big thing is right around the corner. Either when your kids are small, it might be a tough stage that your kids are in, or if you're in a job that you don't really love and you think, I'm gonna move around this corner and it's gonna be better, or relationships or whatever. And it takes some time and some life before you realize that it might not, there are good things ahead, but there's always going to be that mix of the good and the bad. And you've got to learn to live and really love where you are, because that utopia is probably not, waiting in the future.
This is really interesting because we've known each other for 37 years, 38 years. I'm exactly the opposite of that. I didn't feel like the good stuff was around the corner. I always felt like this right now, this may be as good as it gets.
Yeah.
This really may be it. So you better hang on to it right now. This, because even if this is bad, even if it stinks, it may not get better. I mean, so this is sort of it. And I just, but you're right. At our age, it'd be easy. But I think, look, every single person who has a cell phone can turn it off at dinner. Everyone. There's not a single person that is that needed for those 28 minutes or 32 minutes or 45 minutes.
Right.
You turn off the phone and you be where you are. Don't be somewhere else. Be where you are. And it's a good example for kids. Show them to be where they are.
Sure.
Anyway, that's I was curious about the whole going back to school thing, and whether you dreaded going back as a kid, and then did you dread letting your kids go back?
Always.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I want to be clear, I was never saying, woo, glad those kids are going back. I mean, you see these articles in the paper about all these moms that are having pool parties as soon as their kids go back to school. It's like, man, could you tap the brakes on that a little bit? I mean, you know what I mean? It's a little bit odd. It wasn't that I thought it was great when the kids went back. It was all part of the grand, circle of life.
Yeah. Speaking of kids, there might be good news on the horizon for parents who are drowning in scattered toys, water bottles, mysteriously migrating household items. These parents might eventually find some relief. This is kind of fun. I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about this. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but researchers in China have built a household robot that can spot objects on floors and gently collect them with soft inflatable fingers. So far, this is only in the laboratory, but the robot that they've created can move through rooms, avoid obstacles, reach designated locations on its own, which is crucial for picking up toys scattered around the house, or even maybe fetching an object from another room. You send the robot to go pick something up in another room.
Okay.
So far, though, I'm thinking, aren't these the kinds of things that maybe I'm old-fashioned, but shouldn't the kids be picking up their own toys?
Yeah,
you send the robot in to go pick up all the crap that the kids left out. Who's really who's learning the lesson here?
Right. Well, that's kind of what I was going to not really take you to task, but your little Miss X on the AI stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if you thought it'd be a good idea for robots to.
Yeah, I don't think this is a good thing, really. And families who are hoping for immediate relief from household cleanup duties because of this little household robot, there's still a lengthy wait. So it looks like maybe for now, just teaching the kids to clean up after themselves might be the most reliable household automation available.
Well, that is a novel concept. Parents teaching their kids to do what they're supposed to do. First of all, parents doing what they're supposed to do, which is teaching and leading their kids to do what they're supposed to do.
Does it make you feel kind of old and grumpy to talk about what a terrible thing this is?
No, I mean, I think Look, we talked about AI before, and I know we've talked off the air about things you read this week about AI. We don't have to go into all that, but different people's comments and what it could be. Look, I believe AI can be a fantastic tool.
Sure.
I believe it could ultimately mean the end of disease. I believe it could be when you combine that with some other technologies, I think it could be the cure for cancer. Maybe even, and this is bold, maybe even in the next 10 years. I mean, honestly, that is the kind of exponential growth that is happening with artificial intelligence and AI. But no, I don't feel weird or grumpy about saying this. I mean, it's still in the military. There is a saying. Let's say you have a piece of equipment. You don't man the equipment.
You equip the man.
You equip the man. It is still a man involved endeavor. It is still a human endeavor. So the point of those tools is to equip the parent, to equip the company, to equip the man, to equip the kids. It's still a human endeavor, at least for now.
I did. This is so many years ago. I had bought one of my kids. We got him exactly what he wanted, which was this a little pirate ship. It was like a Fisher-Price pirate ship,
cool.
something like that.
Yeah.
And it was only days after Christmas, and it was not put away like it was supposed to be. I mean, I think the kid was like 3.5 years old. And I had made several threats.
Overtures.
Pick up the. Yes, let's not use the word threat. That's a really good. It started out with it was very pleasant. Pick up your toys. We're getting ready to leave, and I need you to pick up your, put your toys away.
Right.
Didn't happen. I don't remember what the next level was. On about the third time through the living room, I said, if you don't pick it up and put it away, I'm going to take it away. And I did have to take it away, but it felt, it was so painful. It was more painful for me than it was for the kid.
Well, of course. I mean, you see the long view.
Well,
you're the parent.
I
you're
saw the
smarter
long
than he
view,
is.
and also I had gotten so much joy out of picking out that Christmas gift and thinking, oh, this is exactly what he wants, and I'm going to wrap it up, and it's going to be under the tree, and he's going to be so happy, and he was. But it was definitely, I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing,
A little defiant,
even at that very, very early age.
Did he ever get the thing back? It's okay if he did. I mean, I mean, you don't need my endorsement, but I mean, I'm just curious if there was a period of time, there was a pirate timeout, that perhaps later the pirate ship might have reappeared, perhaps damaged by another vessel. Just
set sail. I set the pirate ship out.
I told you don't take. Didn't you hear Mr. Wilder? These things don't last forever.
It's quite possible that the answer is no, that he never did get it back.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I don't remember. I don't remember. I know there were it was replaced by other pirate ships later because the little Fisher-Price pirate ship became the Lego pirate ship, which became some other pirate ship. We have a very long pirate phase in this house. Yeah. But yeah, I hadn't thought about that in a long time, but it was as hard or harder for me as it was for him.
Yeah. Well, parenting is not for wimps.
Nope. Did I tell you that I know somebody who got a Belgian Malinois? Isn't that what you want?
It'd be a very difficult pet, I think.
Oh, yeah?
The Malinois is intended as a working dog, and it is like a German Shepherd, but a little more intense than a German Shepherd. Now, are they lovely dogs? They're lovely dogs.
Lovely dogs.
I like the Vizsla.
Vizsla's
a really great dog. I like the German short-haired pointer. I like the ones everybody else is supposed to like because I'm supposed to like them.
Yeah.
The golden retriever and the labs and blah, blah, blah. I like all those. I like all dogs. But I have had an affinity for a long time of the Belgian Malinois.
Yep.
Which is, for people who don't know, it's basically a police dog. It is the dog that you see going with service members, over there.
Yeah.
So it's a serious dog.
Yeah.
And it's bred for serious business.
But it's smart. It's smart dog. Smart breed.
Absolutely smart dog. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think he could read your mind?
Only if he knew I was afraid. I think he could know then. Yeah, maybe.
I bet he could. Dogs
Yeah.
are wired to sense human emotions
Really?
through things like voice tone, your facial expression, even your scent. This is thanks to thousands of years of coevolution with humans. Okay, this is that they've actually looked at brain scans. Okay, brain scans show that dogs have dedicated regions for processing human voices and emotions, especially emotionally charged sounds like laughter or crying.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed when your dog might come and sit closer to you when you're crying, or maybe pace a little bit when you're nervous?
Every now and then I will sneeze. And Charlie, the studio dog, will come and sit right beside me.
He will.
And press himself against me like, are you okay?
Like he's a little bit nervous.
Isn't that funny?
It is.
When he's scared, it's like, oh, what's going on? And he's not a touchy-feely dog.
He's not.
If you say come, he's like, whatever.
And really,
I mean, he doesn't come to you and run and all that kind of stuff.
When I read this, as much as I love Charlie, I thought of all the dogs I've had, Charlie is the least like this.
In Charlie's defense, let me just say, I think he is as smart. He just doesn't care.
Well, no. And this is not even about smart.
No.
This is more about like emotional intelligence.
Right, I got you.
You know, like reading your emotions, reading your mind. Although when I got to this third bullet point about emotional contagion, dogs can mirror our stress levels, even sometimes syncing their heartbeats with our own during tense moments.
Oh, my gosh.
And then also in one study, owners who held long mutual gazes with their dogs had significantly higher oxytocin levels afterwards, and so did the dogs. Can you imagine? I still talk about Charlie's really good at meaningful eye contact. And I think it's because his oxytocin gets a little boost when he and I have our meaningful eye contact. And also, I noticed that today is work like a dog day.
Oh, okay.
Now, I think it's been a lot. Does anybody even know a dog that actually works anymore?
Work like Charlie. That's a dream.
Charlie is going to
What a dream
sleep
job.
for 20 hours today. But those 4 hours that he's awake, he's going to do great.
Right. Yeah,
he's going to go hard for those 4 hours. But if I could have that schedule, I would be more than happy to work like a dog.
And again, in Charlie's defense, he's tuckered out from resting. So that is the Wilder Show podcast. We're on Instagram. If you want to find us there, just search Wilder Show Pod. Search Wilder Show Pod and follow us there. We can share, by the way. And when you follow us on YouTube, it increases the likelihood that other people can find us. That's the way those things work. So we invite you to do that. No, don't just go and find it. Go ahead and, even if you don't, just subscribe. You can still get it the way you normally want to get it. Just do what we're asking you to do. So email to podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. So like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And Lauren, thank you.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
Da 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 da